Hey, sup, y'all? Man, DCUO, they're doing something big. They got something going on big over here. And I'm not gonna lie, it's enticing me to play the game, re-download the game a little. So, man, this thing is getting me here. But before I start talking about stuff, I just want to say this is more of a talking slash discussion video. So not really a video that you need to look or just watch the screen. I am controlling the screen right now just so I can like go over some key points I kind of want to emphasize more on. But other than that, really, at least how I like to do things, I like to just discuss and just talk about, man, just DCUO. Ooh, that's like a ex-girlfriend name to the people who don't play this game a lot. So, all right, so that's just like a little disclaimer, at least for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy it. All right, back to the main topic at hand. So, man, DC Universe Online, they have a big development update going on here in my history with DC Universe, right? So I brought up my channel. I have played this game some time ago, but I took a break kind of after stats revamp, a couple of months after stats revamp, but just due to reasons, just due to built up reasons. So it's been some time. As you can see, I have played this game like I said like 4 or 5 years ago. The reason I'm showing this is because I know some people, they like to see whoever's talking about this, like, who's this random, like talking about this stuff. Like, this is just to show my receipts. Like, I've been around, I know about this game. And so really my last video I think I remember was like 2017. Like I said, that was kind of the time Stats Revamp came out, right? But yeah, this is just to show like I'm knowledgeable about the game. Like, I know some things about the game and I am interested. So that's just for those weirdo people and such. But onward, just back to this, right? So like I say, I was at home sitting on the couch watching TV and my life was passing me by. And I was on YouTube and I saw Obsidian Chill like upload a very interesting title. So shout out to Obsidian Chill and the YouTube algorithm working for him. But just I saw a very interesting title about DCO development update. And man, last time I heard about an update, development update, this was stats revamp. So that kind of just got my interest right there. So I've got back on the forums, had to find my old account and get back into that. That's the wrong one. So we're back into the dungeon, but here we are. Just DCO development update. And so, as I do want to mention, this is came out July the 7th. I actually found out about this news on the 7th, but the next day I had a vacation that was already planned, and then I kind of just wanted to wait and see what the devs would like reveal more information and stuff. So I said, okay, it's been kind of like a week or whatnot already. So I was like, all right, now's the time for me to really just discuss what I want. So back to the topic at hand. So I'm not going to go over everything. You guys already heard from your favorite YouTubers, your favorite DC YouTubers and whatnot. So I'm just going to go over the main two things that caught my interest, that got me interested in Mike coming back to DC, right? So go right over here, blah, 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 this. So these two sentences right here, I'm not going to read over the paragraphs, but kind of just to, like I say, emphasize on what they say. So once again, look if you want to look at the video, but you don't have to. But they basically at this section talked about how they made nearly 1,000 code changes just to like deal with some like text strings and whatnot. So I'm like, that's interesting. And then this second sentence right here, the team also like been working on building up their infrastructure and their hardware, which helps them update the game or just work on different versions of the game eternally faster for more iteration and quality assurance testing. So this is the chin rubber right here. This is what got me hyped. This is what got me hyped. So think of it like this. I don't know as far as the current status of the DCUO players right now, but if you still play the game, you used to play the game back in the older days. So back in the day, the devs, they revealed of how their coding is, right? And their coding is really, really complicated as far as what they can fix and what will work or not. And so, first off, I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer. I do remember I used to program to make websites back in high school, but other than that, I have no knowledge as far as video game programming. But the devs revealed that how their game, how DC Universe Online programming is very complex to where if they were to fix, let's say, munition shotgun when it was busted in PvP, right? If they were to fix that, for some reason, something that's not even related to the topic, another code in like a different area will like mess up, right? And so then they will go fix that coding over there, then another area will mess up, then they go fix this one, and then another area will go up, so it's just like some people they call it a web. If you mess with one web, another part of it messes up, if that makes sense, right? And I've made it sound simple as it is. You're talking about 3 or 4 things that would get busted while the dev's trying to fix one thing, and on top of that, you don't even know what those 3 or 4 things is until somebody runs into it. So they had a very just complicated and hard programming to where they really couldn't fix flavor of the month powers because they don't know what the consequences might be. And so when I read something like this has me hyped because, like I said, just thinking of the thing I just said, that means they can start balancing powers more meaningful or just without reluctancy. So this makes them think, okay, well, if our community is telling us that this power is broken, they can actually go and fix it without any repercussions, right? So this makes me think, okay, they could work on power balance. Now you're talking about, oh, now they can work on like more quality of life changes. So some things that people have been asking for them to enter the game, the devs really couldn't do it because they have to be aware that they might mess up something else. Now they might be able to add more quality of life changes, which they're already adding to this update. My PvP guys, they might be able to work on PvP. Listen. I understand. If you still play DC Universe right now, you might be. Don't give me hope. You know what the saying? Don't give me hope. I'm kind of coming at this with a refreshed mind, so I have like all type of possibilities coming in my head. So it might be messed up for you guys who still playing the games. Like, I've been burned before. I ain't gonna have at it again, and I understand that. But my PvP guys, now the devs might be able to work more on the PvP side, because also here's another history lessons for y'all. Back then, the devs, they had it to where PvE and PvP could not be separated. It was, I won't say impossible, I don't think that's the right word for it, but it was very complicated too. So for instance, if you had a power that was really, really balanced in PvE, but really overpowered in PvP, you would think, okay, all they have to do is just touch the PvP side of the power and that'd be fine. No. The devs, they couldn't do it. Whatever they touch for PvP reasons will also transfer over to the PvE side, and vice versa. So you had this really just hard dynamic for the devs to really be like, man, we can't work on shit. So this caught my interest. Them saying that they can work internally faster and more iterations and quality assurance on the game, or just upgrades to their infrastructure and hardware. This is a very important thing to me, at least. Forget DLCs, forget content, forget power. This right here, this is okay. This is a good reassuring to people who play this game, right? All right, so on to the next. So that was one thing. Like I said, there was 2 things that got me hyped. This was one thing itself. Now to the second thing. And like I said, this whole essay and paragraph is really nice things. They got like new halls for villains and heroes to meet at. They have like quality or life, what's it called? A quality of life updates, like a login bonuses. Every MMO should have a daily login. I know mobile games are doing it. I know gacha games has been becoming such a popular thing, but just quality of life insurance to the game, like adding a daily login bonus. And this is part of the membership stuff, but we're not talking about that. So I'm going straight to the second thing. This second thing right here. So right here, okay, cool. At first glance, you look at it, okay, they updated their on duty tab and some new things, whatnot. What is this about? And so now, you're reading past it, and you would say, you get to this. Why in the world would you want to queue for almost everything in a game? When I read this part right here, why in the world would you want to queue for almost everything in the game? I was like, hold on. What are they talking about? Boom, new approach to past content, omnibus. Play past content in an entirely new way. When they said this, I was getting hyped. I was getting hyped. I was shaking. I was like, they're not gonna do what I think they're about to do. They're not gonna do what I think I'm about to do. So like I said, I'm not gonna read over this, but just to go over just some of the main aspects of it. What do we define as not in-game content? First off, whoever dev came up with the not in-game content, just say other content. This not in-game content just a mouthful. But basically, it dumbs down to the devs are opening up all content to be included in us players' daily game DCUO life cycle career, right? So we're gonna start with just these two sentences right here, right? So combat rating relevancy will be removed from the game. Period, paragraph, full stop. Them saying that, I was like, they're not gonna do what I think they're about to do, right? So combat rating relevancy. I've been watching some videos and reading some forums. I'm seeing some people are getting confused as far as what does this mean. This is not that CR is going away, guys. This is the relevancy. That's the key word of this. So what relevancy means is if your CR is the end game, right? You no longer have to play the content that's specific in that CR range in order to earn that specific currency that you need to get the gear and such for that, right? So that is no longer going to be a factor in the next coming update. And the second thing that says is loot lockouts will be entirely removed from older content, right? So that in itself, that I was like, uh-oh, they're not about to say what I think they're about to say, right? Like, I'm getting hyped. And then boom, they get to this. Not in-game content will always, or fuck, I hate when I say that. Older content will always offer full remarks. Well, and what do you know? They said it. Ooh, look at that word right there. Boom, they said it. They done said it. Somebody go tell somebody. That clamp, man. So overall, what does this mean, right? This whole paragraph or this whole section right here, this is the second thing that got me really, really interested in the game. Again, almost making me want to play this game and download it. I already downloaded the game, but what this means is the devs are implementing a modern MMO practice system that I've seen firsthand that an other MMO done that I really makes me think like, why the devs ain't doing this? And the reason why I'm so first off, the MMO I'm referencing is called Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV almost has a similar system to what DCUO is doing right now with this, right? So with them opening up more of the older content for you to earn your marks, there's so many benefits to this. So I kind of like where is this at? Use stat clamps. Alright, so here's a forum post that happened the day of when the announcement was made, right? So this one on July the 7th. And since I kind of heard of the news, I kind of participated in it too. So here's my post that I kind of made with it. Like I said, I'm not going to read over everything I said, but just the third paragraph for anybody who is watching this, I kind of want you just to read it. So why is this important or such a passionate thing that's getting me hyped, right? So first things first, the divide between newer players and older players, right? DCUO people, let's not act like there wasn't a time like 2 or 3 years or whatever years ago that everybody and their mamas who was an in-game player was talking shit about the new players. We was talking about how is this guy, this ICE DPS during the AMs area is in-game content, and this fool is holding triangle or holding the range button for the PC players. This guy is holding the triangle button for dual pistols at in-game. Like, we had a lot of people who was like, man, the new players generation, they're kind of trash. They're not as good as what the older players has to go through. You know, that kind of was like a topic back in the day, right? And so we had a conversation about, well, it's because people are getting carried. Simple as that. Older players or in-game players will go into the new areas or the older content, and they will carry the new guys who are trying to get through. And then once they get to that point where they're in the ecosphere of the in-game players, they're getting carried all the way through. Next thing you know, you got a guy who is spamming dual pistols range at whatever in-game y'all at now. And people would be like, what's the case? Like, we gotta fix this. And when I used to play the game, so back then, so the reason I showed my YouTube channel is obviously for receipts, right? But I've been playing this game for a while, and of course through that you gain knowledge about the game. I consider myself an intermediate player as far as PvE, and definitely a master at PvP. That was my main squeeze, but I was very, very committed and good at this game. So to step it up a notch, I participated in the forums. And so during those forum times, when that discussion came up, the question was how to solve this. And we got into the word that listen, I know there are some foreign peoples who is mad, but this word right here needs a video for itself. I won't even be able to talk about this fully in this video. So basically I'm saying there's a part 2 coming along, but this word right here, this has been, I won't even say decades, but years of debates, arguments for people, proving our points and such, and yada yadas. Man, it's been a long, but let me get back into it as far as the main thing is at hand here. This is gonna be good. Matter of fact, I won't even talk about this until part 2. This is gonna be a whole part 2 because that's a whole conversation for itself. But basically, Stat Clamp is coming into the game, and this is going to be a big thing. This is a very huge deal for me because I argued for this to be in the game. My example of me seeing this is when I used to play Final Fantasy 14 and just how successfully they implemented this into their game. I was like, my eyes is wide open. I'm woke. Every MMO should have like this type of system if they're doing like PvE type of content, right? I believed in it, and there were some people who are really, really against it. So just seeing that the devs had took a stance and said, okay, we want stat clamps to be part of our game too, it has me hyped. I'm hyped up. Yeah, I'm just that alone, that and that other thing alone really got me highly interested in the game. And so that's kind of it. That's kind of like the main 2 of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as the main update of it all. Like I said, I know it's been some time, so everybody probably already know about this, but definitely take a read at this if you're interested in the game. If you haven't played the game, is the game worth coming back into? Man, I won't say I don't know yet, but they definitely got something coming along now. And like I said, it's been some years for me, so I'm kind of refreshed at the idea of playing the game. Not as committed as I used to be back then, but definitely I can put this as a side thing. But DCUO, what y'all got going on, man? Ooh, the ex-girlfriend sent me a text. She's toxic, but she is cute, huh? But she apologized. That's what's getting me back. But anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Like I said, part 2 is where I'm going to really discuss just this whole second part that I want to emphasize on, because this is years of we got to clarify. We need to talk. We need to talk about this, especially for us DCUO people, or I guess I'll say us since I'm thinking about coming back, but we need to have a conversation about just this word right here and the history behind it. So with that said, I'm gonna end this video right here. I'm getting tired of talking. Matter of fact, I need to drink some water. But you know, I don't do this whole YouTuber, oh, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Listen, if you made it all the way to this video, you're obligated to like the video. Definitely, but if you enjoyed the discussion and whatnot, definitely hit the like. That just lets me see that you really enjoy this type of content and I can do more of it in the future. Or better yet, just comment like, hey, nice video. Or even tell me how you're excited for this, or what you're excited about, what you're not excited about from this content. You know, definitely the algorithm will help and whatnot, and it's going to boost around. I'm all about being transparent with you guys. But other than that, I'm excited and I look forward to playing DCUO. Alright, y'all look out for part 2. Take care of yourselves, you hear? Peace.